Hello, this is Chek. Welcome back to my video blog. Today I want to share a concept that I use when I train myself and when I train athletes and all sorts of people, whether they be workers or injured people. If you understand the concept, you can use it intelligently in a variety of applications. The concept I call high and deep. So what you can see is I've got my beautiful Eleiko awesome kettlebells. I love Eleiko's equipment. I have it in my gym here because I think it's the best in the world. Tell them Chek sent you, maybe they'll give you a deal. And so you can use the kettlebells if you like kettlebell lifting, and then you can mix it with dumbbells, particularly when you're going up to higher intensities that may be relatively impossible to lift with kettlebells. And where that zone is at will differ for all of you. I just did this workout yesterday, so I'm going to go a little lighter on myself as I show you here. And so what we want to do is we want to stage the weights so that we don't have to do too much walking around. And the concept of higher means higher in intensity. When we go higher in intensity, we're going to get more tension through the muscular system. We're going to get more neural drive. So you have to turn the nervous system on with greater force, which activates a larger percentage of your type 1 and type 2A and type 2B muscle fibers, which are progressively slower type 1, fast oxidative, more strong, more contractile force, but shorter lasting than your type 2Bs are your most potent muscle motor units, but they have the shortest lifespan, 8 to 12 seconds typically. So if we want to get the neural drive and the ability to move heavy objects or generate a lot of force, as you might need in weightlifting or martial arts or any number of applications, even working for a moving company and having to move heavy furniture, you could use this type of training very, very well. When I trained boxers in the Army, we did a lot of this type of training because we need explosive speed, we need raw punching power, but we also need good endurance. So the way we do this is we start off and we're only going to do enough reps to warm up and keep developing the neural drive and ramping the system up so that we can get progressively through and then ideally get as many reps as you want depending on the intensity of the weights you choose for the peak of your high. And then when we come down, we will try to rep out. And that will now take us deeper into the motor neuron pool. And as those fast twitch fibers are fatigued, we'll have to go more to the fast oxidative or 2A fibers and then end up down in our type 1 fibers, which gives us a very, shall we say, full spectrum training response. For example, if I only went up as an ascending pyramid, I would train those fast twitch fibers and I might get quite explosive, but I would lose my capacity for either, you could say, strength endurance or even explosive endurance or just work tolerance, depending on how you design the training program. So what I'm going to do today is just give you a quick look at one round through this so you can get a feel for what this would look like. So again, I've got not too heavy of a weight at all here, 12 kilos, so about 24 pounds in each hand. And we don't want to do too many reps other than just to warm the system up. In other words, you don't want to cook yourself down at each level, or by the time you get to the heavy ones, I got 60-pound dumbbells here, 75-pound dumbbells at the top. So you're just going to warm it up, ramp the system up, then get your best performance with your fast twitch fibers at the top end. Then once you put that down, then you can wrap out, and take yourself deep. Then go lay on the floor and cry for a few minutes or whatever it is that makes you feel good and get ready to do it again. Typically in a workout, if I was doing this as a workout, I would probably go through this up or high and then deep cycle somewhere between 3 and 6 times depending on how many stations I set up and how hard I was pushing myself, where I was at in my own training cycle. In other words, what my initiatives were. You can play with these concepts quite a bit, so it's not a fixed concept. Okay, so I got chalk on my hands, which is highly recommended. And I'm going to just do a clean and press. So clean to press, one movement from clean right into press, which is one of my favorite exercises just for general work, especially if you have a short period of time in the gym and you want to knock something out. Sometimes I only get 15 minutes in the gym due to clients and activities I got to get done. So I might choose one exercise like this and just kill it for 15 minutes and then walk out of here and I got as much work done as most people did in 45 minutes in the gym, the way most people fart around in gyms. So let's have a look. Okay, so that gives me a nice little warm up. I don't want to spend too much juice, just enough to start staging myself on the way up. So now we're going to 60s in the dumbbell. Again, we don't want to take too much out of the tank. Okay. Then we'll go to the 75s. There's no rush on the way up. The goal is just to kind of progressively warm in. If you go too quick, you won't have anything left when you get up to the top. Now once I put it down, I won't stop to talk. I'll just go into it and then we'll go into the deep. And then I'm going to rep till I'm feeling like I'm unable to hold my form. So here's the top of the ascending element of the pyramid. Okay, so now I'll just dump right to the 60s. Okay, one more step down. Okay, so ran out of juice, so we got to speed it up a little. And then final stop into the deep. you the depth and takes you into oxygen debt. So you get the high tension stimulation, which research shows could be a very important trigger for androgens, anabolic hormones, and also for maintaining muscle mass. When you're 55 like I am, hormone levels, testosterone levels have dropped down quite a bit. So you need that euthanizing exercise to trick your body into believing that it has no reason to get old. If you act old, you become old. The secret is just to act young, but be wise. So that shows you the up to get that charge through the system and activate the 2B fibers. Then on the descending side of the pyramid, we push it deep all the way into the aerobic system. I would recommend, if you're going to do something like I just did, you give yourself about 3.5 to 5 minutes rest if you want to put the emphasis on getting the heavier weights up. If you wanted to do less intense but more towards strength endurance, I would have stopped at the 60s and maybe put 1 or 2 more sizes of kettlebell in there, so that the vertical height only takes you up to mostly 2A and some 2B, but mostly 2A, fast oxidative. Then I'd push it down and in on the way down with more gaps. So that's a little visit with Paul Chek right in the gym up here in heaven. Love to see you at one of our Chek Institute kettlebell workshops. Go to the Chek Institute website. We have a fantastic workshop coming up with Mike Salemi, who's trained with me for a few years and got himself a number of titles, including setting a national record in the 32 kilo long count class, which is awesome. So he's a real master of the many different techniques I taught him and many other things he's picked up from a variety of great coaches. So I'm really excited to share this opportunity with you to work with Mike and get the best of both of us. ChekInstitute.com, ChekInstitute.com. I'll see you next time. I'm Paul Chek.